How's it going, everybody? It's Pile of Fame, and we're back with another FPL live stream. And today, big double game week preview show. We got double game week 26 on the cards. We're going to take a look at how the team did in double game week 25, albeit a small double game week. Fernandez saving the game week or making the green hour that much bigger for that one. We're going to take a look at our predictions and differential picks for how we did last week, as well as this week. We're also going to take a look at some future transfers. Jota coming off injured 45 minutes into the tie versus Inter Milan. Salah played the full 90. Salah just seems to keep playing games, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll see kind of how that maybe affects transfers. Spoilers, it doesn't. We're going to probably triple captain him anyway. And we'll take a look at future transfer plans and how we're going to set ourselves up going into the next few game weeks. So make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. Also like to give a shout out to Excellent with 3113 in the middle of it. Thank you for the follow. And Yusuf, who actually just followed just a little while ago, so thank you for the follow as well. Also, JB Cullen, how you doing, bro? How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Jimenez is a must-have after free hit 27? Maybe so. Seems like Jimenez might have his shooting boots back. We can certainly look into that as well. We're also going to look at FPL.team. I'm just going to bring it up here. That was the one thing I didn't bring up. And we can use it to plan ahead as well. So we will look at that as well. But before we do that, let's take a look at Fantasy Football Scout and what they have to offer, as they are our partners for this FPL season. So if you aren't aware of Fantasy Football Scout, they're fantastic. They have a whole bunch of different stats tables. We're going to be using those on the Saturday deadline, as we normally do, with the captaincy table, whipping boys table, all that sort of stuff. We'll take a look at that. And yeah, they're fantastic. They have heat maps and all kinds of other things in there as well. They have a new beta test there as well, which looks much better than the previous one that I currently use. I just like to keep it with the old for the time being. You know, it's perfectly fine, but you can go in there and check out the new beta area as well. Much more fancy, but still gives you all the same great content, no matter if you got the preseason offer or you get it midway through the season. So if you're watching this on Twitch, links in the about section. But if you're watching this VOD tomorrow, the link is in the description below. We post the VODs always over on YouTube afterwards as well. So without further ado, let's see how the team did. Hope you're having a good evening. I'm having a fantastic evening. FPL is back on track. We got the nice green arrow. United won, which is good. Some very interesting Champions League games as well. So yeah, we're doing good. Hopefully everyone's doing good as well. Hopefully you all had a green arrow. If you captained Ronaldo or you captained Fernandez, you probably did decently well enough, as long as you had somebody else involved. For me, that was Ruben Diaz and Ait Nouri, who came off the bench, actually, funnily enough. So 75 points on the game week. We initially started with Cancelo in our lineup. He did not play and did not come off the bench, and therefore dropped to the bench, and our first sub was Ait Nouri, who was the only other player that could have potentially played in this game week, and he got 5 points. He got booked though. But I had 4 yellow cards. I mean, I have 75 points this week, and I could have had 79. Dennis got booked. Rafinha came off at halftime. Jota was on the bench. Diaz got booked. Ait Nouri got booked. Like, so many of my players got yellow cards. It was absolutely crazy. Bruno got booked as well, so that took 2 points off as well. 156k to 148k, so positive, I guess. Yeah, hey, any little green arrow will help. Any little green arrow will help. How's it going, Zodiac? Toast heart emoji. I don't know whose emoji is that. Lady Pomegranate. Don't know who that is, but it's a pretty cool looking emoji. Little toast with hard eyes. Valentine's Day was just a couple of days ago, so happy Valentine's Day for all of those that have a significant other, or those that are still searching for one. There'll be somebody out there for you, or if you're just chilling, you're just single, and you're just vibing, that works too. Just a friend's emote. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. At first I thought it was like disguised toast or something like that. They might have had that, but yeah. So 5,202 is the rank. We didn't make a transfer last week, which was quite scary considering Salah started and Jota didn't, although Salah did not score. So we only missed out on 2 points on that one. So all things considered, De Gea 10 points. We're happy with that. He got a clean sheet. Aitnori got a clean sheet, and but he got booked though, so just the 5 points. Trent with the 6 points, everyone has him. Diaz got a magical assist with the 10-pointer there. Bowen doing Bowen things. Fernandes could have had a boatload of points, as could Ronaldo, but I'm glad that Fernandes at least got a goal, because both him and Ronaldo at least deserve one each, especially with the sitter that Fernandes missed as well. Jota, Rafinha, just the 1 point. That's a bit worrying considering Jota is potentially going to be injured for this next, at least one of the games for the double game week. Apparently he came off halftime. Ankle was swollen, so not looking too good. Rafinha came off at halftime. That was tactical, not injury related. Dennis got booked. What's new? Edward, just the 2 points, and same with Watkins. So we're going to have to check things out. Just seeing your rank, fair play, man. Hope the Green Arrows continue to the end. I hope so too. I hope everyone can be just as good of a rank as mine and continue to go even further, because it would be nothing better for us to have everyone in the chat and in the league at the highest possible positions in FPL. That'd be great. Good week for you, Sally. For me, Fernandes scored at the end, so Ronaldo lost points, and I captained him, so I would have went from 9k to 5k if Fernandes didn't score. So just a small red out. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. Bruno and CR7 could have 2 goals and 2 assists each. Yeah, exactly. Ronaldo could have had a hat-trick with his chances. Bruno could have had like 8 assists. Like, it was crazy. They should have both had way more points than what they did. But it's a fire sale now, so, because we're going to be looking to potentially get triple Liverpool, because this is probably one of the best double game weeks that you can possibly have for a Liverpool player. Norwich and Leeds. Norwich literally are going to get relegated, almost certainly, and Leeds are awful defensively, so, yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting. Both Ronaldo and Fernandes were amazing. They were definitely very, very good. Might keep Ronaldo till Gameweek 28. Yeah, I mean we have Leeds, and I'm wearing a Ronaldo shirt at the moment too. So yeah, I think he can still do well. And typically, apparently, history shows us that Ronaldo from February onwards just catches fire, so maybe that's the case. Yeah, so I think he could be quite good. But again, we cannot ignore the double game week that Liverpool have, and it means sacrificing Fernandes and Ronaldo for that. Might have to do that. So let's take a look at our predictions and differentials. Just Bowen 13 points. Fernandes captain for me. For me, it was easier to go to Fernandes in my team because I wanted one transfer back for Salah to make it easier. Jota was just the 1 point, and the rest of the team obviously not ideal. Let's bring up the predictions from last week. Where's the predictions tweet? There it is. Swap over to the other screen. So these were our predictions. A lot of clean sheets here, actually, funnily enough. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clean sheets out of the 11 games, which is crazy. So yeah, triple captain is already activated. When I bring in Salah, it will definitely be activated for sure. It will be activated for sure. Man got a call coming. That's perfectly fine. We'll be here. We'll be here for the next 50 minutes or so. So yeah, this was our predictions from last week. So if you're not familiar how it works, last week we did terribly. We only got just the 3 points. We got an extra game to help ourselves, though, to be fair. If you get the exact score right, it's 3 points. If you get at least the result right, you get 1 point. And if you get nothing else, then it's 0 points. So for the United game, we predicted a 2-1. We didn't get the result right. It was just a 1-1. United probably should have done better. Southampton played really well in the second half. Could have potentially nicked it in the end. So nothing there. Crystal Palace, very disappointing. 0-0. Not really a very exciting game. Nothing really going on there. I think Guaita made a few saves and just a couple. Raya was back. I didn't know Raya was going to come back this soon, to be honest, when I saw him on the team sheet a couple game weeks ago. So yeah, that was interesting to see. We've got that one wrong. We predicted it 2-0. Everton Leeds, I predicted 2-2. Leeds just They just have these games where they just go up against a team where they should probably be somewhat competitive, and they just get just absolutely removed off the park, basically. The water bottle looks way darker on the green screen because it's got a tint of green and blue in it. What do we do with Jota if he's injured? Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'll have to check that out myself, because I haven't actually checked that iteration. Initially, I was thinking going Mane and Salah, and then I was like, I'm not too sure. You know, it is a bit weird. Leeds made a huge collapse. I think Leeds, they're just a squad that's literally, if they don't have exactly their first full-strength team, they're just not very good. Or they could just, like, they go behind and they're just awful. It's only Wednesday. When is the deadline? The deadline's not till Saturday. Don't worry. Deadline's not till Saturday. This is when the deadline is. Saturday, 19th of February. You got plenty of time. This is just a preview stream. Just a preview stream. We'll be doing the deadline stream on Saturday too, so don't worry about that. Got you covered. Out at halftime, it's had a huge injury because Firmino and Diaz is fit. He won't take any chances. Probably not, to be honest. Since Jota's injured, transfer in Salah instead of Jota and bring in Robertson instead of either Digne, Diaz, Cancelo, and Ronaldo out for Broja. Who would you transfer out for Robertson if there is any other forward you recommend instead of Broja? To be honest, I mean, Edward, maybe, but I'm not convinced now that he's going to start both games. Watkins, maybe longer term, but again, he's a bit frustrating. All the forwards aren't very good at the moment, to be honest. It's a bit weird. Liverpool look lucky tonight. Salah tired and Mane, yeah, maybe, possibly. Any advice now on a triple captain? I think it's only going to go one of two places. Trent or Salah, to be honest. Salah might be managed. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, Jota might still play. It might just be one of those things where you got a little whack on the ankle. It swells up a little bit. And then... you know, then it kind of calms down a bit. Who knows? We'll wait and see. So yeah, Everton Leeds, didn't get that one right. We predicted 2-2. Brighton versus Watford, we predicted 1-0. It ended up being 2-0, so we got the 1 point there. City Norwich, 3-0, I predicted, ended up being 4, so we get 1 point there. Liverpool versus Burnley, Liverpool didn't get the 2-0, just the 1-0. Funnily enough, which was Fabinho who scored, of all people. It looked like it was going to be a Mane assist, but had he put his effort in the first time, it would have been a Mane assist, but it wasn't. So just the 1 point there. Villa Newcastle, big 3 points there. So we got that one wrong. Same with the Spurs Wolves game. Wolves just completely dominant in that game. West Ham 2-1 over Leicester. Not to be. Leicester was actually up 2-1, and West Ham with a header from Dawson at the very end. Getting themselves at least the draw there. And then United predicted 1-0 over Brighton, which it looked like it was going to be until the very last second. So just the 1 point there. So 4 points overall. Again, not great at all. Clean sheet for Brighton. They did keep a clean sheet. De Gea got 10 points this week. Dalot got a clean sheet. Dele Alli didn't do anything, and Edward did nothing either. So 3 out of 5 on the differential. So not too bad, ideally. In terms of the differential picks, but with an extra game, we only got 1 extra point, which that's not great. Our predictions need to get a little bit better. My predictions for this week as well are also going to be over on. I'll just post the. Do I have the link? I'll post the link in the chat. So my predictions are going to be over on Fantasy Football Community. Those are probably going to go out tomorrow, I think. But we're going to discuss them with you because I have the spreadsheet on how I predicted for them. Anyway, if everyone sells Jota, could be a differential if only he plays Game Week 2. That is true. Jota will play if okay as Firmino wrecked tonight after 60 minutes. That's also potentially true. Actually, I think having double Liverpool defense is better than the 2 midfielders. Definitely possible. I'm back. What's your best ever rank? at the end of a season was 33K. In terms of best ever rank ever that I've held for at least a game week, I think it was 264, and that was this season. Firmino did bad. I fell asleep. No, Firmino scored a goal, actually. So, I mean, if Jota's injured, then yeah, maybe. Welcome, everybody. Yep, we got a lot of people in the chat tonight, and hopefully plenty of questions that we can help each other out with as well, because I'm confused as to what I'm going to do with Jota as well. These are our predictions for this week. Let me bring up the notepad as well. My best season was top 20K. Yep, 20K is, I mean, that's not for any inside the top 50K is a good season. Inside the top 10K is a fantastic season. And we're having a unheard of season this season. So hopefully we can have it continue. I was thinking of playing my free hit instead of my triple captain. Maybe the wrong choice. I don't know. Depends on your team. Depends on your team. If you have a full 11 for game week 27, including your free transfer that week, by all means. By all means. And then if you have a means of getting, Salah back in the following week or something like that, then yeah, sure. It's always team dependent. I do agree with Zodiac, though. It have to be very, very specific of a situation. Bench Watkins or Cancelo? I would bench Watkins. Got a full 11 for Game Week 27 currently. Well, then, yeah, you should be okay. If you want to, if your team looks not great. Also, if you have just the one free hit, you might want to save it for Game Week 30 as well, because Game Week 30 is also a blank game week, and that could be a massive blank game week. Because currently there's only 3 fixtures in that game week. The only 3 fixtures that are in there, I believe, is Wolves, Leeds, Aston Villa, Arsenal, and I think Leicester and Brentford, I think, are the only 3 that are in there at the moment. So I would say potentially hang on to it for that. Oh, you've got 2 free hits left. Oh, okay. Then you might have a chance to just spend one then. It's perfectly fine. Just know that you can't use the triple captaincy chip in the same week that you bench boost or wildcard, or you can't combine chips like that. So you're going to have to hope that's, there's a double game week or down the line where it's going to be better, because the real big double game week that's coming up in, I think it's in 36. That one you're probably going to want to bench boost, probably. If you want a triple captain, then cool. So it's all up to you. It's all very team dependent. Pilot is going for gold. Flames to follow. Hopefully. Most people have 3 Liverpool this week. City players. How bad could your team be for 26? Yeah, I'd be interested to see the team. Post it in the chat. We'll take a look at it. I plan to have 11 for Game Week 27 also. Yeah, I potentially have 11 as well. That's kind of what I went for. I only have 1 free hit chip though, so yeah. Got 5 double game week players of Regulon not nailed and Jota injured now. Okay, yeah, it kind of depends. If we see the whole team, then this double game week isn't as bright and fantastic as people are making out to be, but it is still a double game week, so we kind of got a little double game week. Will most of the whole game be going for the triple captaincy this week? Almost certainly on Salah, guaranteed. I wouldn't be surprised if Trent was over 100% though, because people put it on Trent though as well. Don't think people will have to use the free hit in 26-27 just because they have 2. If you can save, be a huge advantage. Something can happen, but if the team is a mess, then I understand. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what your team looks like. I would say, like, if we just look at my team as an example. I don't have Salah, but I'm going to bring him in, obviously. If you have Salah, Trent, probably Ramsdale. Like, Cancelo is a single game weeker. I don't think is a problem, to be honest. If you have Bowen as well, I think that's probably fine, to be honest. The only other players you could potentially look at is like Son and Kane, but Spurs aren't very good at the moment. And then Arsenal. I have Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's going to play. He's going to start the first game. He's going to start versus Brentford. Because remember, Martinelli got sent off, so he has to miss a game, literally. As far as I know, unless I'm wrong in saying that. I'm just going to double check this. Martinelli suspended until 24th February. Yep, he will miss that game. So unless something changes and then he gets it appealed and changed or something. But yeah. Jota injured may be a blessing in disguise, as Jota minutes are numbered now. Get in somebody else for much, much less. Yeah, you could get in the likes of Cornet, as an example, who has a double game week afterwards as well. Although he does tend to pick up some knocks and stuff like that, which is a bit interesting. You can go for Coutinho. He does have a single game week, but we'll have doubles because Aston Villa still have a couple of good fixtures to rearrange, so he could be someone who goes there. If it's for 1 weeker, Phil Foden, against that's not what I wanted to do. Against Spurs at home, that's still a good fixture to be honest. And then afterwards, looking real good up until there's a couple of more trickier fixtures. Ramsey, yep, Ramsey from Villa as well, 4.8 million. Watford at home looks pretty good. Right now, I'm having to take a -12 to get 7/8 double game week players. Might be okay, but I'm not sure. Again, I think personally, the double game weeks that you need, almost like you probably need. I think Ramsdale is the best double game week goalkeeper, probably. Trent is a double game week you probably should have. Salah is a double game week you should probably have. And apart from that, everything else can be a bit kind of free-for-all, to be honest. Because the double game weeks are one bad fixture, one good fixture. For most of them, apart from Arsenal and Liverpool, who subsequently blank in the next game week. Which is why it makes it difficult. These late streams is often not good because I'm work in the morning, but tonight I fell asleep, so I'm not tired. Great stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm 1 hour ahead of Eastern time, which means I'm 4 hours behind UK time. So it's like 8 minutes to midnight for the UK. So apologies, but that's why I did it half an hour. Or I'm trying to do it a half an hour earlier if I can, to at least alleviate it a little bit. With the Saturday ones, it's not too bad because for me it's very early in the morning. For everyone in Europe, it's fine. And for anyone who's even 1 hour ahead of the UK, then it's going on 1 o'clock in the morning, which isn't too bad. That's late. Ramsey just gives you free leverage elsewhere. Yes, he does. Yeah, today I'm trying to do it a half an hour earlier because it seems I can do it a little bit easier in some days as well. 12 a.m. ones are the disaster. Yeah, like I try to move it back as best I can. That the extra half an hour, it makes it easier for me because also I have something to do half an hour after the stream ends as well. So before, when I was doing it from it would be 8 to 9 my time. Now I have something I'm doing at basic bang on 9. So I wanted to move it earlier so I have a little bit of leeway there. Would you consider it a bench boost if you had this squad? De Gea, Foster, Trent, Robertson, Digne, Cancelo, Tierney, Foden, Salah, Rafinha, Bowen, Cornet, Watkins, Broja, and King. To be honest, it's not a bad bench boost. Because you would have Foster on the bench. You would probably have Digne on the bench. You would probably have Rafinha on the bench and Broja on the bench. That's 2 double game weekers. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm even 1 hour later than you, so I feel you. I mean, yeah. I know that everyone's 5 hours ahead of me or 4 hours ahead of me. Unfortunately, I apologize. Maybe one day I'll move to the UK or something like that, and then it'll be nice and normal time. It'll be at like 8 p.m. For everyone. What are my transfer plans for this game week? We'll get to that in a bit once we do the predictions. I'm just going to run through the last few comments in the chat here, and then we'll rifle through them. Game week 36 will be a huge double game week. Yes, it will. That will be probably bench boost or triple captain for the ones that didn't use that chip already. content is mint and is good, if not better than any other YouTube out there. I appreciate that. I think it could be better. We're always trying to improve, but we're doing good. We're doing good. At least the FPL rank shows that we're doing good too. Anyway, let's get to the predictions. So, West Ham v Newcastle. I have... I'm just moving the spreadsheet over on the side. I predicted this game 2-1. I think Newcastle will put up a fight, but I can just see West Ham just overpowering them. The quality is just better. Also, if Trippier's out, that could be a huge blow, because I think he had a broken bone in his foot or something like that. So I don't know how quickly that's going to heal, but presumably not for this game week. Arsenal v Brentford. Should be straightforward. I think 2-0 Arsenal. Nothing really more to say there. They should be winning that game. They didn't in the first game week of the season, but that was a different prospect. Now Brentford are a bit more of a known quantity. Aston Villa versus Watford. I've gone for 2-0. Again, pretty straightforward. Aston Villa should be winning the game. They have better quality. Watford haven't scored a goal since Hodgson's come in, I believe. Brighton v Burnley. I think this is a 1-1. I think Brighton will play well, but ultimately they'll probably just get a point, which is just something that they always seem to do. They step it up against the bigger teams, and it's just a matter of whether they can be clinical. Against Burnley, they should beat them, but then probably won't, because Burnley are just annoying, and they constantly get draws when they shouldn't. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. It feels like forever since Chelsea's actually played. They're coming back from the Club World Cup. I think they should be fine. I think they'll probably get a 2-1 win over Palace. It will be tough for them, but I think they should be able to do it. Liverpool v Norwich. Standard 3-0 here. Nothing too crazy to talk about there. Southampton v Everton. This one I think is going to be a bit trickier. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I think Everton and Southampton, it could be quite competitive actually. Everton would like to attack. Southampton are usually somewhat good defensively. So yeah, it should be interesting. I think 1-1 should be fine. For that one, Man City versus Spurs. I think I put 2-0. I did 2-0. I just think Spurs aren't very good at the moment, and City are. So yeah, City are very good. So I'm going 2-0. Leeds versus Man United. Typically this is quite high scoring. I think I predicted this one 3-1 in favor of Man United. It's going to be a bit trickier, though, for United away at Ellen Road. But Leeds always make it easy for United, to be honest, with their current setup under Bielsa. So going for a decent-sized scoreline there. Wolves-Leicester, I'm actually going to go with a 1-0. Had it been seasons gone by, I think Leicester would have probably been the favorite here. Wolves are looking good. They're at home as well. So I think they're probably going to just nick a win here. I'm going to say nick a draw. Nick a win because they're just very good defensively. Burnley v Spurs. I can see Burnley getting a goal in this one because Spurs have been leaky at the back, but I think Spurs will probably just about win this one. 2-1. Probably expect Kane or something like that to get on the score sheet. I think Kane has a decent record versus Burnley, if I remember correctly. Southampton could be anything from like 4-1, 1-4, 3-3, 2-2. Yeah, it could be a lot of goals, but maybe Southampton sit back a little bit. Maybe Everton go for it, and they both miss their chances because they're both not completely clinical for the most part. So we'll see. Maybe I should have probably predicted a 2-2 or something like that, but I think I went with the safer 1-1, I guess. Watford beat Palace. I think this is just a 2-0 in favor of Crystal Palace. They should be keeping a clean sheet. Palace plays some good stuff. So, and Watford, I still can't predict them scoring a goal because they haven't since they've changed managers. Liverpool versus Leeds, same as Norwich, 3-0. Shouldn't be too many problems there. I think if this is the game out of the two where I think Liverpool might concede, just because Leeds tend to just score versus Liverpool. Even though Liverpool always typically outscore them heavily. So opening day of the season, I think it was 4-3 in favor of Liverpool. That was a pretty interesting one too. And then Arsenal versus Wolves. This is going to be a shock. I predicted 1-0 in favor of Wolves. I think they should have potentially done better in the first game. They would have learned from their mistakes. They completely dominated Spurs. They might do the same versus Leicester, and I think they should beat Arsenal because I think they're better. That's no bias on Arsenal, but I think just Wolves didn't play their full strength team when they had it pretty much for the most part available. Mainly Ait Nouri as an example, but it could be 1-0 Wolves or no. I think would be most likely, and Zodiac thinks no as well there. So yeah, that's what I would go with for the all the scores there. I'm going to move that out of the way. Clean sheet this week, I think, personally, I mean, Liverpool's the obvious one, but I think Wolves will get at least one clean sheet this week, whether it be versus Leicester or versus Arsenal, which seems unlikely. Goalkeeper this week, definitely Ramsdale. For goalkeepers, I can go a little bit off the differential side of things. Ramsdale's 20% owned, but I think he's just pretty good this week. He's going to get some saves. He'll probably get a clean sheet versus Brentford and maybe keep a clean sheet versus Wolves. So, yeah. 20.1%. In defense, I'm going to go with... we picked Aitner. Let me go with a Burnley defender, actually. I'm going to go with James Tarkowski, 1.3%. I think potentially against a team like Spurs, which is one of his double gaming fixtures this week, he might just come up with a goal. So I'm going to go with him as he's a low percentage. Also, he has back-to-back doubles, so that's always nice. And when Burnley's defense is good, he's usually one of the players that are involved in the bonus, potentially. Because Burnley's defense are good and he just clears a bunch of balls out of the box. So, yeah. I love Wolves' defense, but they're boring. Yeah, they are boring. But, yeah, even still. In midfield, I'm going to go with somebody that I'm potentially considering. Sadio Mane. Just won AFCON. First time Senegal's done in their history. 2.3% owned. And with Johnson potentially out, he could almost be certainly starting and playing a lot more minutes because he's had more rest, I would say, than of the normal starters. So, yeah. And then in the forward line, it's very tricky to pick, to be perfectly honest. Not even too sure who I would even pick. Antonio, Ronaldo, Dennis. I mean, there's not really many to kind of pick from that have a double game week. How high end is Kane? Kane's 11.7%, so that's a bit too high, to be honest. Lacazette? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can go for him. I think that's probably not a bad shout. Lacazette, 8.3 million, 4.5%. Yeah, let's go for him. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Lacazette, but I can understand why he would be, considering he basically is going to play 90 minutes every game for the most part, or he's going to start and play at least 60. He is often the facilitator, which can be quite frustrating for, for some managers, but definitely will be involved, I think, for sure. So yeah, that's what I'll go for. He's on penalties as well. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is something to keep an eye on as well. So I'm going to copy these over because that is our picks and differentials. I'm going to tweet that out. And then I'm going to put the second part on the bottom of it. There we go. All right. Now we can move off this screen and go to our current team. Move that out of the way. Don't save. And we'll hide those. All right. So here's our current team. But we're going to move over to FPL.team. It is very straightforward. FPL.team. You go in, you put in your team ID. The way you can find your team ID is you go to your, you click on Gameweek history right here. It opens up your team, and there'll be a number at the very top in the URL. So it'll be entry / and then a number. You take that number and you whack it into the team ID, and it brings up your team. It's great. I got it from Let's Talk FPL, or Andy, as some might know. He's also on Black Box this week, I believe. So make sure to check out FPL Black Box. And it's great. So you can check and see what your team looks like game week on game week. So I'm going to hit show transfers so we can see our transfers down the bottom. And we can see how things are going. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of play around in here first in the transfer screen. So if you look at how many double game weekers we have initially. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, was 5 with Jota, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8. We're going to bring in Salah. That's 9. Presumably we'll bring in another maybe, and that's 10 if we were to use 2 free transfers. This week I was half tempted to just go Fernandes out, bring in Salah, bam, bam, shabam, and off we go, right? And see how that one goes. To me, that could potentially work, in my eyes, if Jota was fit, because then we would just put in Salah instead of Fernandes. Fernandes would be Salah in this case would be the captain. So then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double game weekers with Bowen and Cancelo, which I'm perfectly happy with as our double game weekers. Or our single game week players in our team, because I think Bowen could do just as much as Smith Rowe, even though Smith Rowe probably play 70 or so minutes in the first game and maybe 30 minutes off the bench when Martinelli's back in the Wolves game. Unless he does really well and then he starts again. Who knows? Because if we look at his minutes, he started in the Burnley game but didn't start in the Wolves game, so he's probably going to start in the Brentford game, considering Martinelli is not available, basically. And if I go to look at the Arsenal lineup in that game, that was the 0-0. The lineup was Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, and Lacazette. They went really offensive versus Burnley. Whereas versus Wolves, they played with Xhaka and Thomas Partey, with Martinelli, Odegaard, and Saka. Well, if they do that this time, then Smith Rowe is going to come in for Martinelli, and he'll just play off the left. That's what will happen. Because Arteta just doesn't seem to like Pepe for whatever reason. So, yeah, I think Smith Rowe is definitely a better asset now, and I'm kind of sort of happy I hung on to him. But, yeah, if you look at some of the double game weekers, like the only ones I'm really happy with would be Salah, Trent, and Ramsdale, to be honest. All the other ones could easily just only play one game, which isn't ideal. Rafinha probably played 2, but again, he got hooked off at halftime, and Liverpool versus Man United isn't great. Dennis is not great. Edouard might only play one of these games. Smith Rowe might only play one of these games. Ait Nouri might only play one of these games, even though I think he should play both. So, yeah. Will ESR play both? I think he'll come on at least for both of them. He'll start the Brentford game. I'm very confident he'll start the Brentford game because Martinelli is suspended. And the last time Martinelli was like Martinelli suspended, Smith Rowe comes in his spot, plays on the left. That's literally what Arteta does. He doesn't use Pepe because Pepe is just chained to the bench. I don't know why. So Smith Rowe will come in, assuming he's fit, which he should be. He'll play 70 plus minutes. If he does well, maybe he has a chance to start versus Wolves. Who knows? I got Sissoko. Will you count him as a double game week player and start him over a single game week player? No. Probably not. If I had to pick between him and Bowen, I'm playing Bowen all day long. Unfortunately. That's no issues with Sissoko. I think he works hard, but I don't think he's going to score. or get any returns. He might do. Who knows? But yeah, I would definitely start Bowen over or Watkins or Cancelo over him for sure. But what if it's not Bowen but Antonio or Soufal? I still start Antonio and Soufal will be playing Newcastle, so like if it's a good fixture, it's at home, you play that player probably over like a weaker like I'm even considering playing Watkins at home over Rafinha. It's possible. I mean, I might even consider playing Diaz over Rafinha, but Newcastle also don't have Trippier. Another good point. So he obviously helps them out massively. So that's something to take into consideration. So this is the team, how it lines up now. So let's replicate that in here. So we'd have Ramsdale. Trent would be the vice captain. We have Fernandes currently as the captain. Smith Rowe would come in here. Watkins would be first on the bench. Cancelo would come in for Diaz. That's our team currently. So, free transfer number 1. Salah comes in. No problem. Bang. In the team. Captain. No problem. If Jota's injured, that poses a bit of a question. Because Diogo Jota is, if he's injured, and looks like he's going to be injured for both the games, then he is obviously a liability. His minutes are at risk of rotation. And maybe we have to do something else. So, do we just put him in there and hopefully he plays one of the games? Because his single game week, let's say he plays versus Leeds as an example. Jota versus Leeds at home, if he's back and is available, is probably better than some of the single game week players that we have. Like Watkins versus Watford at home. I think Jota versus Leeds at home is better. That's if he starts. Big if. I would not start Rafinha horrible games, but for the future, he would get better matches. Hey, you never know. I mean, Rafinha might just pull something out of nothing versus United. United are bad defending set pieces. Or have been. So maybe Rafinha gets something. Who knows? I think Rafinha is going to need to play well if Leeds want to have even a remotely good chance. Maybe he'll take the early benching, like the early substitution on the chin, and do better. And Leeds might cause United problems. Who knows? So we would have 3.7 million in the bank, which you can see replicated here as well. After Salah's been, after we've made that transfer. Who can help Rafinha? His teammates are trash. I think Dan James has been playing better. Harrison's okay. They really need Calvin Phillips. When is Calvin Phillips back? Is Calvin Phillips back? March 5th. Hamstring injury. Lovely. That's not good. Leeds are probably screwed. Unfortunately. But yeah, he's a double game week player. He'll give me 4 points. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, it's not ideal. But like I said, there's not many good double game weekers that I'm looking at and saying, oh, these are mandatory in there. The other player that I can do is, if I didn't want to go triple Liverpool, I can go Jota out. Actually, I won't do it in this window. I'll do it here. I can go Jota out. And I can just do Son. That gives me 1 million in the bank. So that the following week, I can upgrade Johnson to another defender. And then I would have... I could play 4-3-3 the following week. Leeds is like competing in... That's not fair. What game week is that with Son in? So it would be so Son would come in for Jota this week. The only problem is that then I wouldn't have triple Liverpool. So I'm like half tempted to just like go back to my original plan, which was I have exact money to do Mane right now. Mane came off early. So he's going to be probably starting the next game. Probably. Because he only played 60-something minutes in the Burnley game. Played only 50-something tonight. So maybe he's due for a full game now. So Mane, I would have exact funds to do that. The only problem is that the following game week, I would have 3 playing defenders. I would only have 2 playing midfielders, and I would have 3 forwards. So I would need to get at least a midfielder and a defender back in. So that would cost me a -4 if I went that way. 1.5 game weeks for him. Yeah, that is true with Son. But it means I pay... You have to look at it this way. So if I go Mane, right? If I go Mane costs me 4 points in the future. So if I go Mane, so we could do it this way. So let's say I go Son, right? I go Son. Son comes in, cool. I look at the next week, I can then go Watkins in for Salah, Diaz in for Smith Rowe, and then Johnson in for Trent. Obviously, Johnson's not going to play. I guess I'll make Salah captain or Son captain or something like that. De Gea would come in for Ramsdale, and then I could do the one transfer with 1 million, and I can go to Tarkowski, and then I have a fully playing team there. Yes, Aït-Nouri could get benched. Yes, Edouard could get benched, but so can a lot of players, right? If you free in 27, Mane would be a massive pick. If you don't, then it's not good. That also is true, because I would have to remove him. So if we go to, if we just refresh this here, and then we do, so this is the current team again, so we go again. Fernandez out for Salah. Salah comes in. Cancelo comes in for Diaz. Smith Rowe comes in for Watkins. Watkins goes to front of the queue. Diaz second. Ramsdale in. Salah will be captain. Trent will be vice. We go to the next game week. If we brought in Son for Jota, not only would we only have 2 Liverpool, but we would bring in Son. But next week, we could bring in these guys here, and then all we'd have to do is either get rid of Smith Rowe, or we could get rid of Johnson. So we can do Johnson to Tarkowski and put Tarkowski in instead of Smith Rowe, or we could do Smith Rowe instead of Cornet and play Cornet instead. I have 2 free transfers this week, yeah, so it is for free. This week, anyway. Another potential alternative, I was thinking of how could I get Robertson and not take a boatload of hits. So, the way it would have to work would be, I would go, if I was going to do something like that, I would go like Cornet because he has a double. And then Johnson would go to Robertson. So if I'm going to replicate that here. So if we did, it'd be Salah. It would be Cornet. It would be Robertson. So this would be for -4. Robertson comes in. Cancelo comes in. See, this is where the tricky part is. Do I just bench Cancelo? I don't really want to bench Cancelo versus Spurs, but I guess I might have to. If it was a choice between benching Cancelo versus benching Bowen, I think benching Cancelo is more likely. That would be the team there. That'd be for -4. Next week, Cancelo would come in. Diaz would come in. Watkins would come in. De Gea would come in. I'd have 2.7 million in the bank. So I'd also have Cornet already in. So I mean, I could do whoever here, to be honest. 2.7 million in the bank. The player I would get rid of would probably be Smith Rowe here, because I'm not getting rid of any of my Liverpool players. That's just crazy. I can't get a Chelsea player this week. I could just bite the bullet and just say, you know, whatever. But I can do like Smith Rowe out, and I can just go like Ramsey as an example. and play with them. So those would be the transfers that I made so far. Then the following game week, Ramsdale comes back in. Salah comes in for Cornet. Trent in for Diaz. Robertson in for Ait-Nouri. And then I can make a transfer because I have 3.4 million in the bank. I can go because Diaz has good fixtures after United. I can go. I could potentially just bank a transfer in 28, even though Chelsea play Burnley. The following game week, Ramsdale's fine. So Diaz would come in. He would come in for Edouard because he plays Man City. Ramsey plays West Ham away. I would bring in Cornet because he plays Brentford. And then I can go... Reece James in. He would come in for Watkins. And then the return of the back five would come in and play. But I would have 2 free transfers. So, yeah, I could do whatever, to be honest. And then we could be looking at wildcarding after this. So, there are some options. So, the Robertson one is pretty good. Bernie had on back 12. Yeah. Back 11, yeah. But, yeah, that's only if I want to go the Robertson route. But I think I should have triple Liverpool, to be honest. I think I should. There is one player that I'm definitely going to be bringing in, and that's Salah. And Salah looks like he might be going up in price tonight, so I need to get him if I want to get Mane, because I won't have the funds to do it. So, let me just double check. Let me see who's potentially going up and down in price tonight. Salah doesn't look like he's going to go up, actually. So I could be fine potentially holding off. I'm just going to hold off. Just because I've always done that. I'm holding off. Why not free hit in 27? Do you have both free hits? No, I do not. And if we actually look at players for Game Week 30, Wolves and Leeds. If I got rid of Ait-Nouri, I wouldn't have Ait-Nouri. But I would have Rafinha as 1. Aston Villa and Arsenal, I would have Watkins 2, Ramsdale 3. If I kept on Smith Rowe before, but most likely 3. And then Leicester and Brentford, like those teams, I'm not going to want them. So I might as well just free hit 30. Because I have 10 players or 9 players basically going into 27 anyway, so no matter what I do. So like if I actually end up going the Robertson route, like it's very easy to get 11 players. So Salah, let's say Jota comes out, he goes to Cornet. We then get rid of Johnson. We go to Robertson. Robertson's in. Smith Rowe is in. Ramsdale's in. That would be the team for with a -4 for 26. Salah triple captain, obviously. That's if Jota's injured again. Cancelo comes in. Watkins comes in. Diaz comes in. And the only transfer I'd have to make would be to get rid of Smith Rowe, basically, for somebody. Who that somebody might be, I don't know. Or it might just be to get rid of Robertson again. Because Brighton away, Man United home, Watford away, City away. That's a bit tricky. So, you know. A Man City midfielder probably wouldn't be too bad. I can have up to 8.2. I can go straight to Foden. The only problem with Foden the following week is that he plays United at home. Which, I mean, they should be absolutely smashing United. So if I went like Foden, I'd have 0.2 left. Then, in 28, Salah comes back in. Salah comes back in for Diaz. Robertson comes back in for Diaz. Salah would be the captain. I could then get rid of Diaz if I wanted to, because I still have double City. I can get rid of Diaz and go Reece James. Reece James would then come in. And then I can run that. Following week, I would play Cornet for Edouard. Dennis over Watkins, maybe? And then I can roll. And then Liverpool play United. Liverpool play United and Man City in the next 3. So then maybe, you know, the situation with Jota fixes itself by then. So it's a weird one. It is a weird one. There's many iterations to this. Even with Robertson in there or without Robertson, you know, it is a bit of a weird one. The only thing I have a problem with Cornet is the fact that he picks up knocks quite a lot. But yeah, Brentford, Southampton, Norwich. I mean, Burnley still have games to be made up as well, and we can always wildcard after 29 as well, because we know that Chelsea have Norwich, Brentford, Southampton, Leeds. They might even have a small double somewhere around there as well. So we can always wildcard and sort that out. Or if we think that you know, double Liverpool defense isn't having it, we can then get rid of Robertson the following week. We can bring in Thiago Silva. Foden's easily downgradable to Mason Mount, as an example. Many different things we can do, even with taking a hit. So, yeah. So this is the current team as it stands. Like I said, I'm gonna wait. It may hurt me in the value. I have to wait. Tonight's price rises Thursdays and Fridays. I probably won't wait Fridays because we'll get the manager quotes by then. So I gotta basically wait 2 price drops. If Salah goes up or Mane goes up, I can't get both of them without a hit. So I'd have to find a way to do that somehow if I wanted both of those. But it's to gain information on Jota, because we do have a lot of value in Jota. If Jota's out, then Jota's out. We have to get rid of him. So this is the team currently as it stands. Fernandes will be Salah, so just assume that he's going to be Salah. We got Ramsdale in goal, Cancelo, Trent, Ait-Nouri, Rafinha, soon to be Salah, triple captained, Jota, Bowen, Smith Rowe, Dennis, and Edouard, with Watkins, Diaz, and Johnson on the bench, and De Gea is back up in goal. So yeah, that's the team as it stands. Thank you all for joining us on the preview stream. Oliver just joined us just a bit too late, just for the end, but it's gonna be over on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. We'll be back, like I said, as normal for the deadline streams, and we'll talk about that when we go to the big screen as well. So let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout one more time before we sign off. So, Fantasy Football Scout, if you haven't checked it out, it's fantastic. We'll be using some of the tables on the deadline stream on Saturday, so make sure to join us for that. We'll be up 1 hour before the FPL deadline here on Twitch, so make sure to come check us out. And check out Fantasy Football Scout. If you're looking over here on Twitch, it's in the About section. If you're looking over on any of the YouTube videos, it's always in the description below, so make sure to check it out. So now, let's move over to the big screen. So, thank you all for watching. Double Game Week 26 preview in the books. And hopefully our predictions can be a lot better this week because they were not the greatest. But if you couldn't join us for the live stream, because we had a lot of people in the chat this time as well, you can check the VOD over on YouTube. We're going to post that. That should be out tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully you can join us back for the... I'm going to say preview stream. We just did the preview stream, the deadline stream on Saturday. I'm going to look to see if I can do a lineup preview video as well. That will probably go out. I'll probably film it tomorrow, and I'll probably film it tomorrow, either tomorrow or Friday. It'll probably go out Friday. So make sure to check that out as well if and when I do post that. And then we'll be live for the deadline stream, which will be 1 hour before the FPL deadline as per normal. It's a big one. Come with your questions. Double game week time. And it's one of the bigger ones this season. So make sure to join us for that. But until then, take care.